Good evening, YouTubers. Welcome back in to another round of Astros Recap Postseason Edition. So, Astros obviously off day today. Series tied 1-1 in the ALCS. So the Astros will start 3 straight games in 3 straight days at Fenway Park in Boston starting tomorrow. It is exactly 11:59 p.m. Sunday night still. So obviously I'll take in the midnight hour here. But yes, so obviously it's late. My podcasts just keep getting later and later. I tell you what, if I'm not working the next day, as it's officially now, Monday morning. But my podcast, continue to get later and later. Like I said, if I'm not working the next day, I might be up all night. So anyway, to recap these 2 games, obviously the Astros winning Game 1. That was a big win for them. I felt like getting that Game 1 win made it not crucial to get Game 2. Obviously, you want to win your home games. The Astros have home field advantage, obviously. With the series now tied 1-1, I guess you could say the Red Sox basically took back home field advantage, as we'll start 3 games, in Boston starting tomorrow or later tonight, any way you want to look at it. But just a few things before I actually dive into the games here. Obviously, no Lance McCullers on the ALCS roster. Trying to think here, the roster construction for the new series, obviously, after beating the White Sox. So Garrett Stubbs was left off. They added, of course, Jake Urquidy, which was a no-brainer, considering you weren't going to have McCullers. So we knew that going in. I talked about that when I talked to you last. Trying to think here, the other additions. So like they added another arm. So Blake Taylor was another guy. I think. So if you were to swap out McCullers, obviously not on the roster, for Urquidy, they also took off Garrett Stubbs, your third catcher, and then added Blake Taylor. So that was sort of the only moves of note. Everything else basically stayed exactly the same. So, Jake Myers had that sort of injury in Game 4. Did not play Games 1 or 2. I don't know if that's a reason why, or if they just wanted McCormick. McCormick's actually played well in the 2 games he's played in. So, I don't know if they're going to stick with the hot hand or how they want to sort of construct it. I guess tomorrow we'll see who gets the start out there in center field. But McCormick has looked good his 2 games, so they might stick with him for now. We'll just wait and see. Obviously, so going into the series, big question, obviously, starting pitching with no McCullers. Start your quote on. People need to understand this. Lance McCullers is not an ace pitcher. Now, he's the closest thing we have to an ace, but he's not an ace pitcher. So when people come out and say they don't have the ace, Lance McCullers isn't an ace. He is our best pitcher, but he's not like a Justin Verlander, Garrett Cole type guy that we used to have. Okay, he's not. Now he pitched well in his 2 games, obviously, and nobody else really has yet, I would say. But yeah, starting pitching was a disaster in these 2 games. So Framber Valdez, just since the foreign substance policy, he's definitely taken a hit and has never really recovered fully. But yeah, he couldn't get out of 3 innings. I mean, he just was completely wild, had no command. I think you look at the stat line, you get 3 runs, 2 of them were earned. I'll actually pull up the phone for this now, so give me a quick second as I pull up the line here for Game 1. Game the Astros did win 5-4, so they pulled it out. But to look at Valdez's line, 2 2/3, 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, walked 3, struck out 2, not very good at all. But our bullpen was very good. Now, they weren't perfect. There wasn't a whole lot of 1, 2, 3 innings, but I do think all in all the bullpen held it together. As Garcia, Yimi, I've made my thoughts about him known this year already. But he got a big out to get out of the 3rd inning. Javier came in, pitched 2 good inning. He's only giving up 1 hit, striking out 4. So Christian Javier looked good. Fenway a ton, got in an inning, walked a guy, also struck out better. Brooks Raley got 2 outs, gave up a hit, of course. Yeah, Brooks Raley gave up a hit, also struck out a guy. Stanek actually gets the win, only gets 1 out. He actually gets out of the, let's see here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the 7th inning. It's the final out of the 7th. He gets the credited win. Grayman pitched the 8th. He's never clean. His innings are never clean anymore. He gave up a hit, also struck out a guy. And then Presley gave up a home run to Kike Hernandez. The only run the bullpen gave up. But Altuve made a crucial error in the 3rd inning, which actually allowed Boston to tack on. I mean, they led 3-1 after we hit a sac fly by Jordan in the 1st to take a 1-0 lead. But we were down in the 6th. Altuve, the big 2-run home run, of course. Correa sort of breaking the tie in the 7th with his solo shot. We added a sac fly in the 8th. I want to say that was Yuli Gurriel, which actually proved to be very crucial after Presley gave up the solo shot to Hernandez in the 9th. Hernandez, who also hit a solo shot in the 3rd to start their 3-run inning there. But yeah, Kike Hernandez is like super red, white hot, however you want to call it. But he's really tough right now to get out. So yeah. But getting that win, I think, was crucial. Game 1, obviously, at home. I just thought that was a big win. And, you know, obviously Game 2 with Garcia, just a complete unknown there. I mean, what are we going to get from Garcia? And it was bad. It was bad. He gave up a grand slam in the 1st inning. And then he sort of loaded the bases. Came out with an injury here in the 2nd inning. So... but he was bad going in, basically from start. I mean, Garcia is not going to be an option after. I mean, they don't have like people to start games, unless you want to start Urquidy, who came in and, I mean, he got charged with three runs to his line, so he wasn't very good. But you give up grand slams in the 1st and the 2nd inning, and you're down 8-0 just like that. So after 2 innings, this game. Unless the Astros could put up a crooked number quickly, they were not going to, even make this real close. So, J.D. Martinez went oppo for the 1st grand slam, and then Rafael Devers pulled one just inside the foul pole down the right field line to make it 8-0. But yeah, Garcia came out with an injury. I don't know the extent of the injury. I believe it was a knee problem, so we'll wait and see there. Not that whether he comes back or not, it's not going to make a huge difference. He walked 3 guys, 5 earned runs, only gets 3 outs, so he pitched 1 inning, 2 hits, but yeah, 5 earned runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. Yeah, he wasn't good. He wasn't good. Urquidy comes in. Urquidy inherits a mess, so I mean, he gave up the big home run, obviously, so he actually ends up getting 4 runs charged to his line. But he also got through 4 innings, which I thought was sort of important considering you already had a bullpen where you use, 7 relievers? So yeah, Urquidy got through 4. And, I mean, at this point, you're just trying to find some way to get through this game without burning through another, I don't know. Well, yeah. Blake Taylor gets an inning and 2/3. He was pretty good. Gave up a hit. Struck out 3. Yimi Garcia got 4 outs, an inning and a 1/3. Walked a guy, got 2 strikeouts. Stanek gave up a hit. Other than the 5 and 4 earned runs that Garcia and Urquidy gave up, the bullpen was clean. Other than that, Stanek pitched the 9th, gave up a hit, but got through it, no problem. So. Yeah, you get the day off, which I think is important to give our relievers sort of a day of rest. But all of our best guys, people like Maton, Graveman, Presley, Javier, those people, Stanek, are going to be rested and good to go for Game 3. So I think that's the way you look at things. Obviously, the Astros did put up a 3 spot in the 4th after it was 9-0, so they cut the lead. They cut it, got a 1/3 of the runs back there, but Yeah, they really couldn't muster. I hit two home runs in the ninth inning. I believe Gurriel and Castro both hit solo shots to make it 9-5, but we really never were in that game at all. So, just trying to get through it basically the best way we could. Evaldi, of course, their best pitcher, went 5 1/3, threw 80-something pitches. So, I don't know what their plan is when they plan to use him again. Obviously, trying to think here. So with the day off, I mean, if you pitch him Game 5, that's 3 days rest, I believe. I think day off, Game 3, 4, yeah, that's 3 days rest. So you give him 5 days with the off day after Game 5 if you get to Game 6 and they use him there, or if they want to use him in Game 5 on short rest. Depends on, I think it depends on where they're at in the series, actually, on whether they want to use Evaldi. But the pitchers they got, I mean, at least for Games 3 and 4, don't scare me at all. Of course, the Red Sox will look at our pitchers and say the same thing. So I do like the fact that Urquidy is getting the start tomorrow. I want to see him. I think he's a guy that could give you some length. You desperately need it at this point. But I think he can go 4 or 5 innings for you. I mean, he's no stranger to big games, big moments. He's pitched in the World Series. He's pitched in the League Championship Series. So Garcia, I mean, not Garcia, Urquidy. Urquidy's a guy I think that you can sort of count on. At least I would hope. I expect him. Now, the only thing with Urquidy that's a little iffy is the fact that he has not pitched in 2 weeks. So sometimes that long of length or that amount of time off does not, work well for a pitcher when they have that long of a time off. But we'll see with Urquidy. And then I would assume, maybe I could check this, but I'm assuming Zach Greinke is going to be the starter in Game 4. Game 4. Still TBD for that, but I'm going to go ahead and assume that's going to be Greinke for Game 4. But again, our offense has to show up. We really can't find ourselves down. We got to get off to a good start, score some early runs, get Urquidy a lead. And if we can do that, I think we'll be all right. But yeah, our offense has got to be, it's the Astros starts and ends with the offense and our hitters. So yeah, I think that's going to be key for us. Obviously, this series is not going to be. Red Sox are a good team. They're a good team. They're here for a reason. So, but yeah, going on the road. Obviously, you'd love to win your 2 games, but we're going on the road with a split, and we have to deal with it. So, but that Game 1 win, I think, was a crucial game to get. I mean, they were losing, and to come back and hold on to the lead there, I think, was big for the Astros, because that made Game 2 at least a game that they didn't desperately need. At least the way I see it. I mean, they lost it. Obviously, it would have been nice to win, but I'm okay with going on the road with a split here. Obviously, you'd love to come home up 3 games to 2. I think that's the best you can hope for. They lose 2 or 3. Obviously, that's going to be tough to come home and knowing you need to win 2, but also not the worst thing in the world. Obviously, can't get swept. That's the last thing that can happen. So, there's no. I mean, I'm curious to see what Urquidy can give us tomorrow, and then of course Greinke. We'll just wait and see there. But yeah, that's sort of my 2-game recap there. But we should be okay with the off day today, with our bullpen at least well rested and ready to go. Of course, the Red Sox can say the same thing on their behalf. So we'll see. I think these teams are pretty evenly matched. I mean, I think that we have them beat hitters-wise. I think we have more people that can hurt you in the lineup. Obviously, Kike Hernandez is red hot right now, and they have Devers and Martinez, and I mean, they have people that can hurt you as well. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I'm not gonna, Kyle Schwarber, of course. I mean, not everybody's coming to mind right now. But Bogarts. I mean, they got hitters, but I still I'm going to give our hitters the edge over anybody basically. But they have an ace, or the closest thing there is to an ace in the series, in Nate Evaldi. And yeah, so I mean, But yeah, well, like I said, I think these teams are very evenly matched. I could very easily see this series going 7 games. I just hope that we come out on the winning side of it. But yeah, so only at 15 minutes here. My podcast's been a little shorter, obviously breaking down fewer games, but I can only sit here and talk for so long. But yeah, I mean, it's 12:14 right now, so it's late, no doubt about it. But I don't have to get up or anything tomorrow, so some minor things I'd like to get done. But other than that, yeah. So yeah, I'd love to hear your comments below. What you think, obviously, your predictions in the series. Do you want me to ask you like a specific question? Give me a team you think wins this series and how many games in the comment section below, and I'll respond. Yeah, that's what I'll ask. If you leave me a comment below, how many games, and tell me who wins the series, and tell me who's your MVP. We'll actually throw in a third thing there. So give me your team that wins and how many games, and who wins the ALCS MVP. And if you get it right, how about this? I'll give you $20. If you get all 3 answers correct, I will find you and give you $20 if you can get that. If you get all parts right, the team who wins and how many games and the MVP, I'll mail you $20. So yeah, we'll make things a little interesting there. But yeah, I'm going to wrap things up there. I don't got much to talk about. I mean, listen, I'll probably get back on after these 3 games in Boston, the off day on Thursday. Well, alright, here's the thing. So, I will be leaving. I'll be out of town. I leave Thursday night. So maybe I can do a podcast Thursday, get that actually out on YouTube before I leave. And I'll be back on Monday. Early Monday, I believe. Early afternoon-ish. So, but yeah, I'll be in Wisconsin. And we'll drive up north from there to watch the Packers play the Washington football team on Sunday. So that's the trip I'm making. But I'll probably... Our flight on Thursday doesn't leave till like 7 o'clock or something like that. So I should have time at least to get on and make a video after the 3 games in Boston. So that'll be the plan. So look for me to have a video up on Thursday night-ish. Evening, night-ish on Thursday. But yeah, wrap things up there, and we'll talk to you, and then we'll see you then.